Okay, it's beginning to the VOD. We. I'm pretty sure this is Japanese. Because Genji has the same voice actor. But I'm actually not sure. So reflecting the orbs is really good as Genji because you look, you're gonna get like 20% of your ults like, right off the bat. Though about this like contest. So basically Baptiste goes back and Arista goes back, so you don't really need it. It's not really within your job description to contest, especially if like two other guys are doing it. With Genji, yeah, it's not really like your job because you can just kind of swift strike them and then they just start them up. Yeah, there is like it's kind of like a small thing, but you could have been like splitting it. Something to note in this scenario: this Ashe by herself up here. And Ashe goes up to this bridge by herself. This is a valuable red trick, especially right now, because there's like a voice line for like a little like tick. She had used her dynamite, and then you could have stolen her there. But yeah, this is, you're not really given a ton of options. Other than the Moira probably got like a little low from the Torval fundamental best option. I think. Yeah, see, the Moira gets very low from walking in the multiple. But even then, it's probably Zora kills the Moira anyway. So yeah, this is like most of it. So basically here your team just kind of feeds because they engage without you. Sorry. And then you could so this Ashe, one thing I kind of noticed just in general is perfect. If you were like if a player was like perfect, that every single moment in the game they would know where all 6 of the enemy is and all 6 of their own team is. But obviously, like even like the pros aren't going to be able to do that. That's like a really high expectation. But like scout as much as you can. Like look to see like who's like walking out of spawn. Because honestly, I don't even know who that guy is. Okay, so that's your Zen. So your Zen's right there. I think he might switch. But okay, so here I feel like this could have been avoided. Is my point. I feel like basically, so you need to make a note. The soldier's there. The Sombra's over there somewhere, and the Ashe is up there. Is the main thing. Just make a note of that and remember that when you're in a situation. Oh, and then the Ashe gets arrested. Here you can honestly just dive the soldier right away. Actually, probably not, no. But don't do that actually. Dash up first. Wait, dash up, and then dive the soldier. And then, yeah, like the Zen does have trans, but if you like left click swift strike like really fast, you'll be able to kill this guy. So at the very least, like this guy, the soldier, is like an easy kill, and then you'll get transcendent shot. So then you expended blade and nano boost to get trans and a kill, and then you'll probably end up getting more than that, depending because well, you got the ash anyway. So never mind. And then here, I feel like you were trying to like wall climb, but you forgot you were hacked. So there's not. Yeah, I'm not just like.
我看到你们了。
我不会退缩。
又可以帮上忙。
这可以。
So honestly, I kind of wish that the comms were in this, but that's fine. But it would be kind of nice to know like when the Anna has like stuff like that. Let me take a look at this real quick. Okay, this is fine, but one thing, like I said, with the awareness stuff, so here you may or may not die depending on whether or not your healers are here. So just you don't really ever like take a look back to see where like your healers are. I guess you kind of know like. Oh no, you do actually. No, my bad. No, that's my fault. But one thing I think I needed to note was like earlier, there was an earlier blade opportunity. This is a good blade. He's right there. The Roadhog used his hook. He's no hook. So generally if they use like some larger cooldowns like that, like Ash's shotgun is a pretty big one. Roadhog's hook is a big one. Even hack is like a big one. If you see those, you can just go ahead and dash up and press Q. Well, I mean, ideally your mercy would be there. Because, like your mercy's here right now. They don't have trans. They've lost. So you can blade right now. You don't have to like wait on the side. But that might have been like something that could have been like there might have been some calm thing that I was like that.
这回让你恢复过来。
Right here, probably just play behind Harbor. It's not like it is a little. One sec. Yeah, that's how I'm lucky with this. Oh yeah, in this, there was a little kind of positional error. When you, I'm pretty sure, like I said, like you were making notes of like, where the enemy is at all times. So make a note, the Roadhog and the soldier is over there. And you see the Zen go over there. So you try and get at the Zen. The Zen's still here. I mean, like, you can still get at him. But if you're gonna try and, like, scout here, walk past this. Because here you can get shot from this door and this door. So ideally you want to be shot from, like, the least number of angles possible. So you have to defend yourself from here and then here, which the deflect. It's not like it's got, like, a 360 degree deflect capabilities. It's just, like, the 90 degrees in front of you or something like that. So if you just like walked up here, you probably could have avoided this. basically just like when you take like off angle, just mine all of the angles and take.
屈服于我。你对我还有用？随意开火吧！我的奴仆是不死的。
Let me take a look at this and see if there's like an earlier blade opportunity. Probably not. I'm just gonna look at it. So here, another thing you can do, just so there's a pillar right here. You're kind of getting blocked by this a little. You can use your wall climb to like essentially get a third jump if you jump twice and then you use your wall climb. And it's not like the triple jump that was in like the game like really long time ago, but it's you know, you can jump anywhere.
屈服于我。你对我还有用？随意开火吧！我的奴仆是不死的。
So actually, if a Bastion's not even like the best blade target unless you have Nano Blade. That's something to note because with a Moira right next to the Bastion, and then the Bastion has self-healing, it's gonna be really hard to kill the Bastion basically. If like Moira's healing is like 90 per second, I think, like just her left click alone, and then she has her like orb, which makes it 130, and then the Bastion has self-heal.
别傻愣着，让我来修复损
But I
伤。
think right here you end up switching to Hanzo. But in that scenario, if you don't see anything else, it's generally best to just swift strike away.
荣誉之于生死，救赎之于荣誉。
不起。
I think right here you could have like thrown sonar. Honestly, if you're in this scenario, you know, you kind of are like entering a team fight, and there's not a whole lot of like, you haven't scouted that much at the very beginning. Like, just go ahead and like throw a sonar. You could throw the sonar at the Ash or like the soldier, or like just like something, so you get a little bit more info before you go into the fight. Also, that like there probably wasn't the best opportunity to throw the sonar because this Moira is just like jumping like twice. Like people who jump are just like easy shots. So try and like look for people who are jumping. Yeah, like that soldier. If you had like picked up on like a good click, that probably could have been. Also, you don't use like your storm arrows on bastions enough. If a bastion's just like sitting there, you can just like, well, you're a little too low to do that. But in general, if you see bastion, just go ahead and like press it. Yeah, yeah. And here you can throw a sonar arrow as well. Like it probably wouldn't have changed anything. So something I wanna load up my Overwatch real quick. Cause I wanna go into training for 1 sec. Sorry for the wait. So, I'm not entirely sure how familiar you are with like the
Redemption.
Okay. Our world is worth
so
fighting
if you're
for.
trying to like learn the lead of the swimmer a little better, do make a note. This won't make your aim better. It's just gonna make you knowing how fast the swimmer is. You just go to these blocks and practice just like shooting your head.
Focus.
Double kill.
And you can do the same thing with like the primary fire.
An inspired
If I was good
performance.
at things. But dude, no, that's not gonna make your aim better or like your muscle memory better at all. It's just gonna make you know how fast the storm arrow goes. And, back to the bot. Sombra, yes, dude. This is the hero I'm one tricking nowadays because like Diva got nerfed.
5、4、3、2、1。
So before I can do that, I should probably say one of my complaints with your Sombra gameplay is you do spend like a ton of time like invisible, and when you could be using when you can either be like shooting the enemy or basically. So I think of Sombra in like two different playstyles, where there's like a backline harasser playstyle, and then a main tank assister playstyle. Where if you watch Surf4, generally if he's like has a Reinhardt on his team, he's gonna be playing with his Reinhardt like a ton. Or if you watch like Cody, he generally prefers the backline attacker playstyle. I mean, I think both of them use both of the playstyles, but so this health pack on offense isn't really like super crucial to hack because like none of these guys are really ever gonna get to this health pack in the first place. So here, like, I don't really know why you turn invisible in the first place, really. Kind of just like a waste. So, another thing to note is, if you've seen Surf4's Widowmaker guide, one of the things he talks about is like easy shots versus hard shots as Widow, and an easy shot as Widowmaker is somebody who's not looking at you or is like standing still or something like that. So he's not looking at you, so he's gonna be an easy hack. So you can just hack him like straight away, and you really don't even need to hack him in the first place if you are just looking for ult, because he used his hook, so he's not that big of a threat to you. This Lucio is also a pretty easy hack as well. That probably could have, you probably could have killed the Lucio if you had hacked him, but yeah. So here, I don't think this is the best translocator placement, because realistically, like, basically you want to put your translocator in a place that's not gonna, if you use it, you shouldn't have to spend like 10 seconds walking back, because you might as well have just been dead for 10 seconds if you're just gonna spend 10 seconds walking back. I would put it, what I would have done is I'll show you when you walk up. So there's this castle right here, and in the bottom of the castle there's a mega health pack. I generally like hack that health pack and then leave my translocator by it, and then like, so that health pack is good because your team can use it and the enemy can use it, but if it's hacked, their team's just gonna get double the use and they're gonna get none of the use out of the health pack. So it's good to hack, and additionally is a good spot to leave your translocator, because if you get jumped, you're not taken out of the fight, because people are gonna be here usually. Something else to note, your awareness in this scenario, you should take this time to scout. Like, you don't know if somebody's up here. You just kind of look at like the path you go. You don't even really look like main at all. Hardly. You just kind of look through this window. There could be somebody at the bottom of the castle, somebody at the top of the castle. But you just, honestly, you're not even like have your crosshair on the Ana. You're just kind of looking at the floor. So, and then you see the Ana, and then, so here I would have paid attention to the Roadhog and not the Ana, because, well, the Ana's kind of by herself. Well, no, she's not even, because she's got the Roadhog with her. So if you jump this Ana and try to kill her, she's going to have help from the Roadhog. So you're probably not going to get the pick off on her. But if you see the Roadhog, he's a very good target to like farm your ult off of, because he has a gigantic hitbox and just a large hitbox in general and a lot of health. So, but you end up jumping to Anna. So if you do decide to jump to Anna, you were way too close to the Anna. This is like players with like better mechanics will sleep you like every single time from this distance. Like I don't know, they're I guess kind of like he's kind of like low elo Anna. That's just wait, what? So a better Anna there would have slept you. And additionally, you don't get a pick off and you don't get your ult off of this scenario. If you had been farming like the hog, you would have probably on your ult. You could also be on high ground as well, and then because high ground is like, you know, high ground is going to keep you safer than the low ground. And additionally, when you farm people, like, don't really pay attention to like how far back. Well, pay attention to how close you are. Like, but if you're really, really far back, that's actually not super like a bad thing, because Sombra's gun actually has like a ton of range. Like, and once again, this translocator, like this payload's gonna move up to like here by the time you use that translocator. So a better spot, even like behind whatever this thing is, might have been not so bad, but a better spot would have been underneath the castle, or even by here or by here would be like, a little better. Or if you want to go like further into this specific hallway, you'll be a little better off. It's good to have that health back. That's you hear that? And then here, your gold, like they're not gonna touch the payload. They don't have like anything to touch the payload. And if the Roadhog touches the payload, he's just gonna get hacked. So you just wanna sustain. But actually, I might be wrong about that. But actually, I don't know. I'm not sure. Okay, so they do end up jumping you. So if there are people on the ground and there's people on the high ground, you need to consider this as a, let's call it, since there's 2 people on the high ground and there's 4 people on the low ground, you need to commit to the low ground. Like either kill only high ground or kill only low ground. Because if some people are killing these guys and some people are killing these guys, it's basically taking a 6v6. When in reality, you could have just focused one or the other, and it would have been a local 6v4 or a local 6v2. And that's what it's called, taking either local 6v4 or 6v3. But that takes some kind of and there, if you had used it. How do you translate? Oh, I think you used like. So there, your first instinct should have been like to use translate. That's what I was.
我没想到你还有那一招，让运在目标停着可不太好。第一把上线了。我回来。
Yeah, and once again, this Ashe, you are like this Ashe is gonna like if she dinks you, you have to run away. Like, and you're very close to her. So, generally against like people like this, I generally try to just get as far away as I can. Or if you like, if for whatever reason you do have to take a really close. What the heck? Wait. No. Okay. I think it was like. Alright, so we're here. So if for whatever reason you have to be this close to the Ashe, use this wall right here. This one. Never mind. This one right here. Because you can like dodge your shots and like time, you can like weave in and out of it based off of the timing of your shots. But then your D.Va comes along. Yeah, here your initial thought should be to switch to the backline harasser playstyle, and generally in between team fights, harassing the backline is generally the best because they're just coming out of spawn and you can like farm them easily. So your first instinct here should be to press F and delete your translocator, and then put a new one like maybe like here or like in this room wouldn't be so bad, and then start jumping the respawn rate. Okay, here this takes you out of the fight really well. Also, this is a good position to farm from because you're not like, if you're right next to the Roadhog or like right next to like and they could just sleep or hook you easily, but you're from a distance where you have like some outplay potential on them. But if you're gonna farm, one thing I like to do is like right where you're standing right now is where I would put a translocator, because if they like sleep you or something like that, you can just press E and you just teleport away. So you can just like look for the animation for either hook or sleep, and then just press E, and then you like just have like a free dodge. And then they don't have their like, but yeah, and then they start running away, so you kind of have to like So in this scenario, your Reinhardt is like hit a shatter, but then 2 of your team are dead. So basically, when 2 of your team are dead, you need to consider like regrouping. So, but here you kind of have the option to shoot this guy, or actually, I think you end up just sticking around, and then like, yeah, I think you end up sticking around, and then they don't know that you're there. So that's fine. But if you're gonna do it, go up here, so you can put pressure on high ground. And if you don't like it, you can just jump down and sort of back down. Yeah, and I think you end up going over there anyway. So this is fine. But yeah, be really careful if you see that detected, like get away, because like they'll see you're there. Another thing is when you come out to hack people. So if this guy right here, well this one actually, if this guy is a Bastion and you're invisible and I want to hack him, don't just uninvis and hack him. Like what you want to do is, I'll wait till my invisibility gets back and this guy respawns. So you're invisible, decloak where the Bastion is getting blocked by like a wall or something to block your LOS, because this is going to muffle the voice line. It's not going to be as loud if there's something in between you and the Bastion. And then you can just walk around and hack him. And here your top priority should be hacking this Bastion, because it's a very easy hack, and otherwise this guy's going to get pressured like a ton. He's going to shield muscle like yeah, and he's dead. I wish I kind of wish I had the comms, cause like so I could have heard you like your communication with your lineup. Also, something to note is you can play Goats under this, like because Ghost is a very high skill cap comp, and the skill cap pretty much has to do with your pathing, like which direction you go around to kill people and stuff like that. But what it's weak against is ranged DPS. So they have Soldier ranged DPS, Ashe ranged DPS, this counts as a ranged DPS. Even this could low-key be considered a ranged DPS, but kind of weak to break, so Roads in general not super strong against Ghosts. And this is like low-key a counter to Ghosts, but not really. But basically the main thing is the Soldier and the Ashe and the Bastion are scary to go with. So you perhaps would consider switching off of Goats, but you don't have to, like I said, because at the end of it, it's just who plays Goats better. Also, another thing, you don't have to throw these translocators like so deep. You can just throw the translocator like right there. That's pretty like nitpicky. Okay, good. Your team takes the right call. So with this EMP, so your team's going through there. Like I said, I kind of wish I had the comm so I could hear what your team's thought process was. But then you should wait for them to walk around, because if they're in that room, they're not gonna have LOS on like a single enemy, and that's kind of the point because they want to get close to them. But during the meantime, you don't want to just like let them, like you want to EMP without them. And another thing is, so with this EMP, you get Bastion and Ana, and when an Ashe and a Mercy are up there. So if you wanted to get the Ashe and the Mercy as well, I'll just get EMP. I'm gonna have to use 2 EMPs probably, because there's some other stuff I want to talk about with the EMP. But so say there's people up there and you want to EMP people, just throw your translator up, this, and then you EMP. But I don't think I got anything. I think I was a little bit too high, but that's kind of the concept. It is throw your translocator in there, and then I'm gonna get these guys so I can get an EMP back. Alright, so if you throw your translocator up, when you press Q if you're in midair and you press Q, whatever downwards velocity you have gets set to 0 temporarily, and then your acceleration rate begins. So it's basically just like a little jump in the air. So if I jump and I'm falling, my falling speed is canceled as soon as I press EMP. So you can use that kind of to your advantage and like hop around places and then like stuff like that. Yeah, but if you had known that your team was going to like wrap around there, you probably would have want to put your translocator either here or here, because it's a little bit closer to the fight. And another thing is, it doesn't have to be by a health pack, because your healer. Yeah, that's fine. And like the whole time you're here, you can be like, you can just like, when you're here, you can just set your translocator there and just start shooting at the Bastion. I mean, you will probably get low, but just, like, once you get healed up. And this is like, so think about where the team fight's taking. It's gonna be over here, right? So if you jump back to here, you have to walk around for like a whole like 5 seconds and then get back. So like I said, here or here would probably be better. These guys are on fire, so I don't know if you're like in a ranked game or if this is like a team Electron, but if you're in a team setting, if you're at some sort of disadvantage, like being on fire or being purple or something like that, you need to like just go hide. Like, wait around. Even if they use like Widowmaker sites or something like that, you can just like wait. This is a time where it's okay to like be close to something like that, because he's just. This is a little close, like I said. If they had turn around, jump pretty easily, so you could use these like stairs. If you had been on the stairs, you would have had like a little bit more cover. I don't know how this Bastion is able to get the ult off. That is. So I don't know why you don't finish the Ashe. Is this right there? Yeah, that's 2 UP for him.
Thiên tài. 5、4、3、2、1，敌人来袭。
So generally what I do
找
on
目
this
标
point
点 A。
is, so there's going to be a health pack down there. You can hack that health pack and then throw your translocator next to it. And, well, no, don't throw your translocator there, actually. Just hack the health pack, because these guys will be using it. If you poke them enough, they're going to have to use the health pack. And then I would put my translocator, like, on the high ground's not bad. Next to your, like, Lucio, where he's at right now, isn't bad. But, like, you could just, but I uninvis before I hack it. So I have my invisibility after I've hacked it. Because you can only hack it once the game starts. You can't hack it, like, before the game starts. So you just hack it, and then you go invisible, and then you look for an opportunity to farm them. So right here, you could be looking for an opportunity to farm them. And you, like, your sword art, but you're not, like, scouting them at all is another thing. Like, you need to make a note that, like, the Mercy's there. And I don't even really know who's there, because you don't really, you're not really, like, looking for people. And so the soldier's there, the hand with the NF half, but she can shield. And here you're spending just a ton of time invisible, like, when you could be farming people. So if you're, like I said, if you're looking to, like, go uninvis, like, I'm trying to jump these boys right here. So instead of just uninvising right where I'm standing on it, I just go around here, uninvis, and they couldn't hear it as well because this thing's in the way, and it gives you a little more stealth. So you can, in this scenario, you can go around like this wall, you can go down this little, whatever it's called, this little, like, ramp hill kind of thing, behind a tree. And just look for probably a hack on either the Roadhog or the Ana, something that, see, these two guys will take you out of the fight, because they're gonna either sleep you and then headshot you, or hook you, and then either way you're just dead, regardless. So just hack one of them, and then just locate out once it gets too scary. Also, you can be on, like, high ground if you want to be here, but if I were doing this, I would go, I'll see if you see it in an earlier scene.
5、4、3、2、1，敌人来袭，防守目标点 A。
Generally, in this spot, I go as far back here as I can go, and then they're poking here, and then I have sightlines on them from here, and it's really far away, so if I see it sleep, I can just press E and just dodge it, or hook it. You can just dodge it.
马上回来。
Also, that Mercy is standing still, too. That's another easy kill.
金。
This isn't the best translocator placement, basically because it's not safe. Like, if you're, like, back here or something with your team, it would be safe, but if you translocate there, you're alone and you're no translocator, and probably no business in most likely scenario. So they'll probably get an easy kill off of you. I think they end up deleting it. This translocator placement is, like, it's fine. Good hack on the Roadhog. Also, this health pack is another good one to hack. But the main one in the building is the one I prefer to start with. And if you get a chance to hack that one, definitely do. Also, when a Hammond is doing this, your top priority should be to hack it. So I think he was low on health. So that's fine. And then jumping this actually good as well. So, like, here you do have to, like I said, you were getting, like, close, but here you do kind of have to do that because there's even, like, a lot of map control.
比赛即将开始。
你知道我的风格，我随。耶，快快快！
还剩60秒。这队还能扛住的，过来，我来掩护你。前方有敌人的炮台。
Let me look at this real quick. So, like I said, in this scenario, in general, it's best to either commit to, like, a main tank assistor playstyle or a backline harasser playstyle, and you kind of commit to just, like, being alone, and then you hack the Mei, and then you don't really get a ton of, like, value out of it. So here you're still at, like, 7% of your ult. Yeah, and then you get killed because you were basically your kind of playstyle thought process kind of took you out of position a little bit. So your two options are you can play with this runner, you can be breaking the shield the whole time, and then be using a shield all the time, and then you. So they probably would have like walked in front of or walked out of the shield and somebody hit the wall when you were walking around there. So you eventually would have gotten like a hack opportunity, or at the very least you keep the Rhine safe and you are a threat to anything that's trying to attack your Rhine. Or the other option is,
你知道我的风格，我随。
I'll show you.
耶，快快快！
So you can go in viz and then put a translocator. If you know your team is going to go around to the left, put a translocator in blue room right there, and then go in viz, go back a point, this high ground, probably not this high ground, that would take a while to get to, or you can just go back a point probably, farm them from ever away, and then it's not doing enough damage to justify putting a shield down, so they're not going to put a shield down, and if they do, then these guys are just going to swerve in and kill them if they do put a shield down. And if they don't, you're going to just be here for all of eternity and you're going to get your MP, because there's nothing that's going to be able to throw you from that far away. So this isn't bad, but it's not. Its turret at the moment isn't really threatening anything. Actually, let me rewind it a little more. But your Zarya is dead, your Reinhardt's dead, and they res the Torbjorn. So at this point, it's a lost fight. So you should consider regrouping, especially since your Reinhardt's dead. In Ghost matchups, the Reinhardt is the most important character to keep alive, because the win condition of Goats is killing the enemy's main tank. So again, it's going to be Orisa, or their Orisa, because between Brigitte and Reinhardt, you have what's called unblockable damage. So it means Diva can't matrix it, they can't be shielded. The only thing that can really block it is Zarya's bubbles, but they don't have a Zarya. So you're gonna wanna. So Lucio's damage won't be able to do anything because it can't get through the shield, and Zarya's damage won't be able to do anything because it can't get through the shield. So you wanna play with this damage and this damage to kill this Orisa. But yeah, so when you, so if you're in the scenario and they lose their Orisa, and then you lose literally anyone else on their team, you have the option of shielding up and then healing up and then taking the engagement at your leisure, whereas they don't have that option. They just get poked on for free because they don't have a shield. Oh wait, I didn't realize you had 11 seconds. Never mind. Let me see. How much time do you have when your tanks died? When your tanks saw that you were dead, they should have backed up. But yeah, then they go in and they get killed. And the Torb gets with. That's 200 IQ Baptiste. And here, like I said, you're spending a lot of time in this. Like, these guys are trying to kill these guys, and you're just kind of, like, watching. And additionally, this isn't the safest spot, because it is pretty close to the enemy. Like, you would kind of rather be, like, behind your Reinhardt, so you can have your tanks in front of you to protect you. So the best translocator spot in this scenario would be behind this castle right here. Oh, your gun's kind of in the way. Right, behind this pillar right here, and then behind whatever this machine is. And then here, you're fine here. I mean, like, you can, like, you shoot at this Orisa, you can just stay here forever. Like, you don't have to, like, leave. You can just get your ult off the window. But yeah, like I said, you could have been shooting just like right from like there, but here you have the option of like shooting and not shooting, and then here you are like not shooting.
放弃抵抗。一起走，降不朽不朽。
Yeah, I don't know how Torb gets his ult off either.
屈服于我的意志吧。
Yeah. So the main things to work on, I would say, with Genji, look for like opportunities like hook, sleep dart. The biggest opportunity to blade with is if Anna uses her nade. If Anna uses her nade, then that should be like an immediate like, oh, I need to use my blade, because that's the biggest thing that will screw you up and it's an anti-nade. But other opportunities are good, like the sleep dart, and then like storm arrows is another good one. Things like that. And Zarya's bubbles are also good ones. With Hanzo, I'm trying to think. What's going on with Hanzo? Oh yeah, get your sonar arrow out at the beginning of team fights. And when you see Bastion, focus him with storm arrows, and then try to shoot at like jumping people a little more, because those are like it's hard to learn. I will say, like learning how to shoot a jumping person is difficult. But once you develop the muscle memory, you'll be able to use the same muscle memory every single time on a jumping person, and then it won't be difficult. And as Sombra, I feel like I didn't even stress this enough in the video, but really try to focus on either like the main tank player, main tank assister playstyle, or the backliner harasser playstyle. And another thing is you can play both. Like you can put a translocator like next to where you know your team's gonna be, and then go harass the backline, and then once it gets too dangerous, just teleport back and then switch to main tank assister. And another thing is you spend too much time invisible, in my opinion, and you don't scout enough in between team fights. Where it's like all the time you spend invisible, you sacrifice your ability to shoot and your ability to hack. And I think that's pretty much it.